Hi everyone, Houdini 19 is out and I've been exploring the new Pyro effects and the system already created from shelf tools. It is so cool that you can create something complex with just a few clicks and tweaks. In this tutorial, we will create a complex magic fire aura and power up, as you see in hero movies. In the end, we will see how you can render these effects with Redshift. The main focus of this tutorial is to show you how to explore and edit systems from the shelf tools, learn with them, adapt, and create something suitable for your project. This workflow can save you a ton of time, especially when you are in the concept phase, when you have to create something really quick. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and let's have some fun. Before we start our tutorial, I want to show you my new tutorial store on Retrieve. And here you can buy the bundles with all the tutorials or different bundles depending on the section you want to learn. And you have special features in these tutorials. They are different than from the YouTube or Patreon. And let me show you something really cool and quickly. So you buy this bundle, this fluid bundle, and you get access to this, to Abstract Fluids Part 1. Let's open this guide. Guide is called like a group of tutorials, okay? And then you can press play and see the tutorial. So I started in this store. You have you can add subtitles. Let me show you.
On 30, no, not 30.
We have multiple subtitles like Italian.
Okay, so
German.
Animation.
Very cool. And there's something even more cool than this one. You can have a voiceover. And if you are tired of reading subtitles, you can simply switch to your own language. Press play and it will talk on that language.
Y como puede ver este gráfico amarillo.
Let's check another one. This is so cool. Let's see Japanese.
And
you can have both if you want. Now we have Japanese voiceover and Japanese subtitles. Very cool. Another cool feature that I want to show you is this one. I think this is the main feature and the most cool feature of this Retrieve store is the search bar, the search engine they have behind the videos is that you can type anything that you want, or you can use the microphone and dictate, and you can directly search on the video. For example, this tutorial has 1 hour, okay? And you just want to learn like viscous, the part of the viscous jelly, okay? I need to write it correctly. And you press enter to search and it will jump you and show you the different sections that you have. And it will jump directly to the that section, right? That is pretty cool. And it's a new way of learning Houdini. You can check with the subtitles, check with voiceover if you don't want to read subtitles, right? If you just want to listen, or you can search directly on the topic you want to learn, and it will jump to your to the section of the video. So you don't need to watch all the tutorial all over again, and you can just jump into the section. I think this is pretty cool. This store is really good. It's a new way of learning Houdini, a quick and easy way to learn Houdini, accessible for everyone. Right now on my Patreon, I'm running a special promotion. If you are subscribed on Doxia's Lab, if you are supporting us on Doxia's Lab tier or above, you get 50% discount on the Retrieve store. Only 18 days left for this promotion. So if you want to get a 50% discount on Retrieve, check on Patreon for the promotion code and come here and get the bundle you want. Just show you quickly the 5 bundles that we have. We have the complete Houdini with every tutorial that I've created. Then we have divided these into type of effects in Houdini. You have fluids, particles, volume, and volume. Okay, every single tutorial, every single video has subtitles in multiple languages and voiceover and a super advanced search engine. I hope you enjoy this new store and it will help you a lot learning Houdini. And let's go back to the tutorial. Okay, so we are in the Houdini 19. Let's start by importing our character animation. Let's go to Mixamo. Okay, so we have the basic model. Let's look for power or power up. Let's use this one. I think that's cool. Let's download. Leave everything on default and press download. I've already done that and created a folder called Mixamo, and I got here the Mixamo animation. Okay. In Houdini, let's place our geo. Let's call it character. Don't mind my UI. I have these side by side. Normally it is on the top, these parameters, but now I'm used to work with this UI. So here on the right, I have the object or the nodes trees, and here in the middle, I have the parameters. So inside the character, let's go and import our FPX character import. Okay, let's pick up our Mixamo. Okay. And right now we don't have animation because we need to bone deform. Okay, so now it is picking the animation and it's very cool. Let's dial this down to 150. Let's change a bit this animation, okay? Because right now it is ending at 70, 24, something like that. So let's do this really quickly with a time retime. Can we do with retime? Yes. Now we are going to change this speed value. If I put 0.5, for example, you see that we should have more time. You can see we have double the time. But now you can see it was not checking with this, playing in real time. But now the start is a bit bad, right? Because now everything is off the speed, is on it is on slow motion, and we want to keep the first part and the end part at the same speed. So let's something like this. When it is on frame 20, let's animate this to 0.2, like this. Maybe 0.2 is too too much. 0.5, 0.4. Oops. 4. Like this. Close to frame 90. Go like 10 or 15. So with 10 frames, let's go back to normal speed. See how it looks. Nice. So we can build up the power up inside these frames. Very cool. Now let's go here. Let's put just a transform, because when you use FBX character import, it works with the normalized scale. I call it normalized because it's inside 1 by 1. Okay, and I want this a bit bigger. So let's go maybe 3. Okay, a bit better. And let's place a null. And let's go with out character. Okay, now we have our character. Let's place our geo, and let's start with the basic one, okay? And let's go with aura, okay? As I mentioned in the introduction, we are going to use the new Pyro configure setups, okay? And we will see how quickly we can use one of these and adapt Pyro simulation to our own project. So let's start with a bonfire and let's see what this creates for us. As the name suggests, it is a normal bonfire, but it will have embers if you want, like a particle system. And let's just visualize this a bit. I'm going to decrease the resolution, or in other words, increase the voxel size so it can be a bit faster. Let me close this. Let me update. Update viewport. Okay. So as you can see, it's a normal bonfire. Pretty cool. So as it is a bonfire, so we keep emitting flames. They are going up, pretty simple, and it is based on this tube. Okay, so now we can adapt this and make our this bonfire to apply on the character, right? Because as you can see on the top, this bonfire is starting on this geometry. So let's use our character. Let's go object merge, pick our character, and link this here. So right, without changing anything, let's see how it looks. Takes a bit more time. Let me just pause and let's increase the RAM for this. Go with 15 or 5. I have a lot of RAM, but 15 is. And go and see the last frame. Just press this one. It will calculate quickly to the last frame and be right back. Okay, I've cancelled midway the animation, the simulation, because it was taking a bit of time. So let's see how it goes. So as you can see, we have a nice bonfire, a nice burning man, right? But I don't want these flames to go that high, okay? And let's increase the voxel size or decrease the resolution, because right now it is taking too much to simulate. And we want to adjust first the parameters. So again, what I was saying is that for my taste, we just want an fire aura, and this is a bit too much. It's more of Burning Man than a power up, so or an aura. So let's find a way. Let's use parameters to decrease this flame going high, maybe the noise. Okay, so let's go. All right, let's go to our parameters and check everything. This is the Pyro solver. It was introduced on 18.5. I don't know if the English word is that one, but okay. So we have the voxels, the time scale. It's a bit faster, okay? So because it's a bonfire, more speed. Bound, it's not limiting, okay? It's this bounding box. It's updating with the simulation. And here we have the default values for our bonfire. Okay, we can change this a bit. I want the flames to be a bit more dense, and the smoke. And I want to decrease this a bit. Okay, so let's go. I don't like to work with higher values. You can hold the mouse over the parameter and it will show you a quick tip. Okay, just a quick tip showing and explaining the parameter. So acceleration strength, controls how strongly the target field's values are pushed towards the source volume, okay? And the deceleration is the opposite, okay? So let's leave everything like that for now. And on fields, as you remember, it was going up way too much for my taste, okay? And I want to kill it faster. We could change the density, okay, like we do on the billowy smokes that you used to do. But you can see here that it is emitting, using a control field temperature. So it is the temperature that is controlling the density dissipation, okay? So what we need to change is here, the temperature, okay? So let's try and increase this a bit. So if I go really way high, you'll see that our flame won't go up that much. Okay, now the voxel size is way too big. So we were on frame 60, so let's see how it goes now. Okay, let's check this. I don't bet we can see that our fire is not at this height, okay, like it was before. So now you can see dying way sooner than it was before. Okay, let's cache just a bit more of frames just to see how it looks on frame 90. Wait a bit more. Okay. As you can see, it is dying way too soon. Okay, let's go and keep exploring a bit. So the shape, we already know these parameters, buoyancy, and the next is the wind. Nothing to explain here, okay. Gravity direction and the wind speed. And the cool thing that I think it's really cool and it helps a lot, is now that you can see these parameters in action, okay, with this solver. You can go here to shape guides and change to turbulence. And as you can see, we can really quickly see the turbulence, the scale, the swirl size, the power that we are using. It helps a lot, okay, to see what we are applying on each parameter. That's pretty cool. So right now, let's change this a bit, and I want more chaotic form. That's pretty cool. And let's go and check disturbance. We don't have any, but now let's apply a bit of disturbance. Go, and I think that's pretty cool. I think that's okay. Let's see again. We can even bound source. We can lower down a bit this temperature. Just dial this a bit. Okay. And let me turn off the guides. Let's cache everything and be right back. Okay, let's check how it looks now. Okay. Now I see that it had too much noise. So let's go to our shape. Yeah, let's decrease this a bit. Let's go back to 0.75. This was fine too. Okay. And I can see that we still have a bit of a flame going on. Don't really enjoy that bit, and increase the viscosity 0.3. And let's go here and deceleration. Let's push this to 0.5. Let's see how it looks. Let's cache and be right back. Okay. So I've adjusted a few parameters. So I was getting the flame a bit higher. Now we have this result like I was looking for. So the main thing that was putting this higher than I wanted was this shape. I didn't uncheck the flame expansion, so it was increasing a bit too much than I wanted. And on fields, we have the cooling rate of 0.95. Okay, if we increase this a bit higher, you'll see the flames going extinct sooner. And viscosity, I put it down back to 0.2. And let's increase this a bit. Okay, and that's pretty much it for this one. Okay, so let me, oops, cancel this. And now let me show this. We want this fire arrow to start only at this point on frame or 15. Let's go with 15. Okay, so we want to start only on frame 15. And like we did before, we used to do before, we can come here to sourcing and animate these parameters, right? So we want them to be off here. Okay, so let's dial this down. You can just change these two because the other ones, this one is burning. Okay, let's do this here too. Why not? These three, and velocity, if we don't have the previous ones, we don't care for velocity. We have velocity, but we don't care. So let's go dial this back. Okay. And maybe go and maybe on frame, oops, on frame 90, we want to start and turning this down. 95, we can really quickly turn this down because the flames will keep going. We are just not emitting. They will evaporate here. Cool. So now I'm just going to decrease the voxel size just a tiny bit. Okay. And let's put a file cache. File cache looks different now on the Houdini 19. Okay, let's go with Aura, fire Aura cache. As you know, I don't like the heap name. And as you can see, the base name and the base folder, now it is on different parameters. Normally it was all in the same one. We can control versions here. It's pretty cool. You don't need to drag and drop multiple file caches. You can control here the version. Okay. This is pretty cool. A pretty nice new file cache. And it is going to save the frame range as we normally do. And let's press save to disk and be right back. Let's see the cache now. Okay, let's put it down. Now it has a nice icon here. It already put the load from disk check when you cache everything. And let's see how it looks. Hey, pretty cool. It is just starting here, as you can see. Because we are going to do a nice explosion when we do this. Boom. It will explode, and then the fire aura will keep emitting till the end. Let's go with normal speed. Pretty cool. I think the viewport for our fire, for the fire simulations or Pyro, it's really cool. When you are scrolling, you can see the voxels, but when you stop, it kind of blurs everything out and makes everything really cool. Now, let's go to the second part of the bonfire, and these are the embers, okay? Those little light particles that fly around. Now let's see how they create these. Okay, so on the Pyro source, we create the points, okay, the particles. It's a volume scatter. Then they sort the points and they are going to delete the points. Okay. So prune points. Select view from inside. Then it gives a nice noise on the density. They delete a few points, as you can see. And if I change the frame, you can see we are picking different points every single frame. This is a nice setup. Let's increase this a bit because we want even less points. So like that. And we have 32 points. Then let's leave everything. It's creating velocity. It is doing a pop net, as you can see here. Okay, it is creating a pop net and a pop force with a nice noise. Really simple. And they do a sim out and no time blend, a spark trails to give it some colors, as you can see. Okay, have a nice ramp, and let's see this in action. You can see those are really cool embers with a nice noise on it. And those embers merged with our, or let's bypass this for now. You can see that will look really cool with our fire. Okay. It's a nice setup. You don't need it on the preview video for the tutorial. I turned this off because it was too much visual information, and I didn't really like it at the end, but it can give you a really nice result right on the it is already created, right? So it is cool. Let's go back to our fire aura. Okay, and let's create our shockwave. Let's go, and now let's go a little bit faster so you can see how quickly you can create. Cool. Let's go with shockwave. Pyro configure shockwave. When it has the configure word, it means it's a full setup that they built. Okay. And here, let's just go to frame 30. And here you can see that we have a merge. So we are using two Pyro sources. Okay. And for this shockwave, we are going to explore this this right input, that is the shockwave on the floor. It's just let it cache a bit. As you can see, it takes a bit of more time. Even the voxel size are a bit high, 0.15, because this shockwave is a real, it's like a nuclear explosion, so it will be a bit big. Let's see how it goes. Frame 26, let's press ask to cancel. You can see it will be a really nice nuclear explosion. And what we want is just this shockwave, okay? Shockwave on the ground for now. So let's delete this. As you can see, the first one is burst, and this one will be the shockwave. So let's delete this one. Let's make this like that. And we are not going to change that much here because I want to show you how quickly you can create shockwaves now. I teach this like 2 years or 1 year or ago. I think it was 2 years ago, creating this shockwave with a custom volume. Right now, it's really simple. It has this pyro burst source ground shockwave. Okay, you just change the burst type to shockwave, and you will see that it creates the points for us with velocity and everything. Okay, so you can adjust this shockwave. Okay, so we know that we want to start maybe on frame 15 like it was before. Let's go here, burst animation. Let's control shift here to kill the animation. Let's go with 15. Okay, we want to start on 15. And on the burst shape, you can control the initial size. Okay, here, so you can make it bigger or smaller. small. Let's go a bit to have a few points. Here on spread angle, you control like on 90 degrees. If you keep on 0, it is going up. Let me add 2 points. So lower values, it go up. As you can see, 90 is straight on the floor, and above 90, it goes down. Okay. So let's go to 90 because we want this to be on the floor. Right angle. Okay. It's just, damn it. You can just control a bit of randomization. Okay. This one is a 360 to have the full circle. Okay. And then head shape noise. It is the starting noise here. Okay. We go back to our frame 15. It is changing this noise. So let's increase this a bit. You can see we have more noise. Okay, the size of the noise. Cool. And everything else. This is the point separation. When you have this, you can change the point separation to have more points or less points. Okay. So let's go back to 0.01. Okay, that's cool. Right now we have almost 1 million points. That is cool. Burst animation starting frame. Okay, how many frames we are going? So we are going to until frame 60. Okay, very cool. Interior, expansion, and exterior. Okay. From 0, it is the starting, the shape, initial size. Okay, and exterior is the exterior, right? So let's go back how it was, because we don't want to change anything. We want to use the defaults. So go back. Okay, I think that's cool. Let's see how it goes. Okay, maybe we want a bit more. Go 30, 20. Let's go with, and maybe even more. Okay, check this out. Okay, very cool. So we will have a nice shockwave. I think the noise is a bit too much. Okay, very cool. So then we have the adjust vector. Okay, turn these to volumes so we can use on the Pyro simulation. Okay, on the Fireball Shockwave. So right now we know that this starts on frame 15. So we don't really need this to start. Where is it? Voxel size. I knew there is something. Start frame. Okay, sorry, it was on the top. Let's start on the frame 15 because we don't really need to simulate before, because our shockwave only starts on frame 15. So right now everything looks fine. Let's increase this a bit more. Sorry. Just see how this in action. Okay, cool. Going on here. Still on the bounding. I don't know why the center is there. Okay, and we have closed below, so we don't have a shockwave below the floor. Let's see how it looks now. Okay, maybe it is the voxel size. It's way too big. It's not counting the small volumes. Okay, you can see now it is starting. Increase this a bit more. Okay, let's see how it goes. Let me increase the cache. Okay, let's go to frame 90 and be right back. Okay, this cache takes a bit more time because it's way too big, but let's see the result without changing anything, and we have a pretty cool shockwave, right? One thing that I want to do is just change a bit the values here. Let's go check these out. I want 5 density is cool. Burst, temperature. Okay, maybe temperature I want a bit higher. Let's double this one so I can adjust this. Flame, divergent. I think it's cool. 10, 15. Let's not change anything. That's cool. Just change double the temperature so we can have a bit more fire shockwave. Here on dissipation, let me think. Let's boost this up a bit. I think that's, we need to boost a bit this. And let's go here. Okay, let's go with 75. Okay. And shape, let's leave it like that. Or maybe kill a bit the disturbance. Okay. They already have nice animation on turbulence, so it is going down a bit from 5 to 0.05. Okay, it starts with a bit of turbulence, then it kills during the simulation. So let's leave it like it is. And one other thing before we cache this, I'm not going to cache during tutorial because it takes a lot of time. But right now we just have one shockwave, right? And that's pretty boring because we keep emitting fire. So let's do a few more shockwaves. One cool thing that we can do is just alt drag this, create a new ground shockwave. Okay. And just push this a bit further. So let's go to frame 60, for example. Okay. And let's create, maybe this one is going to be at 45. This at 75. So right now we will have 3 shockwaves, and let's put them a little bit faster with the duration of 30. And let's put a merge. And let's fire them. So right now we have these shockwaves. Here is one. Okay, here is another one. And another one. The last one, let's push the last one to 80. Takes a bit more time. Okay, and one thing that you can see is that they have all the same starting noise. Let's go to the second one. Let's change the offset to a random position. Okay, just to have a different noise on the start, and do the same for the third one. Okay, let's like that. Right now we have the 3 shockwaves. Okay, and because everything is on the merge, everything else will work. Here, volume. Okay, so we have volume, so the Pyro, the solver, will pick this up. And again, you can put a file cache. Let's call it Shockwave cache. Delete the heap name. I really like that. And just press save to disk. Okay. I'm not going to do that now because it takes a bit of time to cache this shockwave. Okay, and now let's do the fire explosion on the start. Okay, because right now our animation, let me turn off the shockwave. Our animation is a bit, it doesn't have the starting impact. Okay, so let's put a geo. So here, and let's go with blast. We can do multiple. Let me write Pyro. we can have multiple different configures. Okay, we can do a fireball now or keep going with shockwave. Okay, let's go with the shockwave because I want to explain the other thing. Remember, we deleted the left side and worked with the right side. Now we want to do a different. So let's delete this. Delete this one. Okay. So right now, our source fireball, you will see, it is emitting multiple particles to different directions, right? You can, if you like, and have an explosion on below, you can, but let's adapt this fireball to our model, right? We want to emit the explosion depending on the model. But right now, if you link directly to the model, your Houdini might crash because what this is creating is it has one point, okay, and then emitting 250 trails. And right now, from one point, we have 50,000 points. Okay. So what we want to do is decrease this. Let's go to 1. Okay, so from 1 point we are emitting 1 trail, and let's check these parameters before we link. So here you control the trailing separation, same as it was on the Pyro. Okay. And you can see multiple colors. That is cool to have a feedback, a visual feedback. Okay. So you have the trail length. Okay. And then the thickness of the trail. Okay, pretty cool. So right now we have from one trail we have 3,000 points. Initial size, okay, of that blast, and then the spread angle, we saw before. Okay, and it is an explosion. It's going just to create a nice random. So if you increase to 5, you can see that we have multiple. Okay. Let's push this. It was on 90. Let's put it to 60 to go an explosion. Not too much. 25 to go more up and then to the sides. Okay. And then let's grab our character. Okay. Let's go to character, out character. Right now, this character has almost 30,000 points. And if we link this to 1 point, we are multiplying 30 by 15. And that's is going to create a bit of too many points. Okay. So let's put a scatter and use those points to scatter. So let's put like 20. Okay. So we have 20 points, but as you might have seen on the dancing moving spheres, because our character is animated, the scatter points are changing every frame. We need to fix them. So let's do that really quickly. On the scatter, let's check these ones. Let's put an interpolate. So here, let's put a time shift. Let's unlink that. So now our scatter points, you can see it a bit better. They are on the same place during the simulation. So now let's link that interpolate to our Pyro source. And as you can see, we have a lot of points. Let's turn this off. And you can see that maybe we have initial size way too big. Okay. Like that. And the thickness, something like that. Well, go 0.05. Trail length to 1. Maybe 1. Okay. Pretty cool. But you will see that this will change with the animation, but that's okay for now. We just want a blast. And let's start this on the frame 13. Go with 13. Okay, so now we are starting. Boom. Okay. And here, let's go maybe 3. Okay. So now we have the fireball. Let's see how it looks. And let's put this, I don't know, it was on 24, but let's put like that. And let's increase this. Let's see how it looks without changing anything. Let's see the simulation. And this is pretty simple, okay? So as you can see, it is going up, a small explosion. So now let's add a bit of velocity and a bit of more outwards explosion. Okay, so let's animate this pyro burst source, okay? Instead of starting like that, or maybe we could add a bit more frames. Let's go with 15. And overall explosion, let's see. Where is this? 2, 5. Maybe the trail length. Let's leave it to 1. Or maybe 1.5. Yes. Do something like 0.75. Maybe we should animate this. Okay. Let's see on the frame 13. We are starting with, maybe that's cool. Let's see how it looks. And let's put this up a bit. Go and buy. Okay, let's go some like 60. Something like that. And let's see. Go and see without changing anything. Maybe we should, like we did before, we should here the cooling rate. Let's go again with 0.95. Just be sure it's up. And disturbance, let's dial this down a bit. Disturbance is cool. Okay, the starting frame is 13. Is it 13? 13, okay. And scroll size, let's dial down a bit. Let's go and check that scroll. Okay, maybe that's cool, or maybe less from our scroll noise, okay. And let's turn it off and let's see how it looks. Go and let's cache it to frame 90. Be right back. Let's see how it looks. Maybe it is too much. But if you want a cool explosion and to make your statement, this is cool. But let's go here and increase this. It's cool. Oops, 5. Okay, and on fireball, let's change this a bit. Let's dial down the density, the burst density. Temperature is okay. Or scale of burning, let's go go with 5, increase a bit velocity. And on fields to flame, let's go to 2. Okay, and shape, go to 1.25. Let's try something like that. Just decreasing a bit the flame. And let's go here, cache these out. Let's put file cache. Okay, and let's go with blast cache. Delete the hip name. Don't really like that. And save to disk. Be right back. Let's see the cache now. Just zoom in a bit and let's see how it goes. Okay, now I lost a bit of momentum here on the start. Oh, let's go back. As you can see now, it's just a little bit of tweaking. And increase a bit the flame. Let's leave it like that, but here let's increase to. Okay, let's cache again. This cache is a bit fast because after a while, after the frame 50, we don't have more cache. So let's go really quickly and be right back. And the final animation, let's see, with everything with the aura and the blast. Go and check this out. Nice, the blast, and then we have there a small fire aura. Okay, and we can, of course, link the shockwave, and I'm going to increase the here to see how it looks. And we will cache this just in order so we can see the animation and check the render, okay, with Redshift. So as you can see, it's taking a bit of time to cache it, but good. Okay, can have the first ones. Okay, so I'm going to cache the Shockwave 2 and be right back. Okay, let's see how everything looks. Turn on Shockwave. We have a pretty cool blast. That's right. Let's see in real time. Not real time because it's a bit slow. Have multiple shockwaves. Still the fire there. Very cool. So now let's see how we can render this. I'm going to use Redshift. I still don't know how to use Karma, but I'm going to learn that today. But now let's see how we can do this with Redshift. So I'm going to save another version, and that's why I take off the $heap name, because right now the cache files wouldn't work. Nice. And let's put a camera thing around here. Put a camera. Now they did a really cool thing that the camera, you don't need to press Control and click the camera. It always goes to your pivot point. Okay, so let's move. On my UI, I like to have the camera here. I can see the final look, and here on the top viewport, I can move around. So now let's put a light, Redshift light. Okay, let's increase this a bit, 15 and 2. Let's move this light. And this. move the other one. And here, something more. This and this one. Okay. This. Let's increase this. Okay. So we have the camera, we have the lights. Let's create our volume. Let's start with our aura. Okay, with this one. So now let's put another camera just to see it closely. We can move back. Okay, so I can put my camera a little bit closer so we can see the aura in the render. And here, let's call it Redshift aura. And let's link here. Okay, and let's put here a Redshift wrap. And you will see this new Redshift as something really amazing. I really enjoy this new interface. On Redshift, you have automatic outputs, so you can really quickly pick the quality you want for your animation and increase here the render path if you want. So let's go back. Denoising, motion blur, you have everything that you need really quickly just to do tests. And if you want to go and change each parameter like you used to do on the old days, let's call it old days, you can go to advanced and move like you want. But it's really cool that you have this one. Okay, we have production RT. I'm still figuring out this, but let's go with production high and leave everything like it is. So, okay. On the camera, let's move this to full HD. We have the aura, okay. And now let's go inside. And we have this one on the file cache. Let's see how it looks for now. Go render view. One other thing that I forgot to mention is that the lights, let me go here. The lights now have a new interface, as you can see. And you can see that the volumes are always on 1 now. Before this Redshift, you had to come to volume and change this parameter. So the lights would affect the volume. Now they affect automatically. Okay. And now, as you can see, we have a little bit of volume there. You can see a little bit of smoke. And let's prepare this and use, let me check which volumes do we have. We have density, temperature, flame, and velocity. Let's use temperature. Okay. Here on the emission, let's use this temperature. And as you can see, let me increase this. I can change these parameters and they don't change at all. Even if I change the colors, they don't update here on the viewport. And I don't know really what this node does, the Pyro bake volume, but maybe it's for Karma or for the other mantra rendering on Houdini. But for Redshift, you need this node too. Okay. To be honest, it's not going to do anything on the viewport. You can change these parameters if you want, but the main ones for the rendering are these ones. Okay. On the Pyro look, even if you change the colors, they won't affect here. Okay, because we are not assigning material, not anything. And I don't really like this node because when you, let me just link this here. Imagine you change here the parameters, okay? You go and maybe something like this. You have these parameters, okay? It's a bit of white, okay? But then when you move afterwards on the viewport, it's kind of a bug. They even say that here some viewport visualization features might not be visible after this node. Okay, so after you move to the node after this one, the viewport might glitch, and that's not really good, to be honest. But you need these nodes in order to see this. If you like to see the viewport with the main one, okay, like this is the main goal that you want to achieve, you can always do something like this. This here, let's cut this. Put the null as the blue tag, okay, and press control click on the Pyro look, so it will use this node for rendering, okay, with that purple tag. It means that on the viewport you are looking at this one, but you are rendering this one, okay. So now if I go to the render view, you already saw that. Now we have color, okay, because I put this tint here. But as you can see, I can control now use these parameters because some in back job, I don't know what this is doing, but this is relating these volumes in order for us to use on the aura, okay, on the Redshift, and that is well for us. It will work just fine. So now let's pick nice. Let's go like this. Let's go with camera 2. And now let's pick a nice color. So one thing that I want to do is be sure that our temperature is working. So let's put a black body, okay, and see if this is working. So now, as you can see, even if I increase this, let's go to 5, it is always picking this red spot. So we can go to advanced and change these settings a bit. If we increase this, you will see that we can start getting more values of this ramp. Okay, so let's increase this a bit, maybe to 5. 5 is cool. We have a bit of yellow, okay, and white, and we can cut this out. That. Very cool. And now this is the usual stuff, torsion to get those blacks on the smoke. So let's go something like 20. And this something like 10. So we have a denser smoke, okay, and fire. Go another one. Let's see how it looks. Now it will update on the viewport and not on the render view. You just need to press refresh and it will refresh to the new. Okay, let's go check when it is starting. Cool. Maybe now it's a bit strong. Go to 56. Okay, pretty cool. And you can even adjust this a bit if you want. A bit of color. And maybe now it's sweet. Like that. 6. And can we leave it to 1? Okay, you can adjust the density. You can see that is things. So now what I want to see is check if our lights are giving a bit of color. Now let's maybe increase this a bit. Okay. And now go to 60. That's a cool frame. We are starting. And let's add our shockwave. Nice. Looks cool. So let's go to volume. This bit. This one is going to be shockwave. Okay, density predator. And let's leave it like that on the shockwave. Let's link our shockwave. And remember, we had this, we can just put it like that. But again, we don't see anything on the viewport. So what I like to do is this, or even add this one to add. Let me close this. Can we like this up? Want to see a bit. Okay. Want to see. Okay. Want to see a bit the shockwave in the viewport. So it's cool. I like this. But now again, if I lock the next node, it won't work on the viewport. But we just need that bake in order to create a shockwave material. Okay, so now let's see again what we got. And let's move to camera 1. And we can zoom a bit the camera 1. Like this. Very cool. So we have the lights affecting our smoke. You can leave it as smoke, or you can boost a bit the flames here. So let's go and try to add a bit density to our smoke, a bit distortion. Let's do. I need to do this. Oh, we can. Just testing a few things. Let me go and turn this off. Okay, so we can see what is our temperature doing. Okay, we don't have much temperature. That is cool. Let's go back to 100. I need to boost it up. Trying to boost that temperature here. That's this effect. Oh, okay. We had the assigned material, so it was changing that. So go 100, 100, 100. Okay. So we can work this out here. So as you can see, this is affecting these materials because inside, let me see, on this Pyro shader, it's doing something, and this Pyro shader don't really understand. Okay, it is affecting these volumes in order for us to work on the Redshift. That's what we want. So here, let's go back to 1. Here, 5. So 1, 2, 1. Okay. Maybe even decrease this a bit. 0.5. And let's see. Maybe just want a bit here. Okay. Want them to be fired just on the edges. Okay. Just linking this a bit. Okay. Pretty cool. And the rest, the smoke, fire. Okay. This is more fire look. Boost that. Okay. Very cool. And the density, we can lower that to look more like smoke if you want. Okay, cool. Or even increase and have more lights bouncing because we have a denser smoke. So let's go with 5 and here maybe 2. 3. Okay, cool. And if you want, of course, you can tint this a a bit the way you want, create a more fine look, a more magic look. It's up to you. Okay. This, maybe. Okay, that looks cool. And we are missing the last one, the blast. So let's go put another volume. Let's save the project. Let's stop rendering. Let's call it blast. And again, let's do this one. Let's turn off a sign, scatter, fire, go with 100, 100, and 100 to have equals volumes, the values to everything. Okay. Let's pick another frame, something where it is exploding, like that. Okay. And let's move up. Let's assign the blast. Okay, let's see how it looks. And we need to assign those density, temperature. Let's refresh it. Okay, let's use black body. Cool. Let's push this up. Let's push this here a bit. Much. Tiny bit. Okay. And increase the density. 5, 2, 3. Okay. And our shockwave, I don't really enjoy this. Let's see. Shockwave is not really how I like it. Enough this. Something. Something more like this. Let's go with this one. It's a bit too much red. Go with 10 and 20. Same as we did on this one. But here, let's increase it. Okay. And the blast, not really, I like it. So let's go with magma. Go with black body, but something like this. Okay. Let's see a bit afterwards how it looks, because we need to turn off. Okay. Looks like muddy, but you can always look for that afterwards. See how it looks on the start. Nice explosion. A little bit of fire there. Here. Nice. Then I have just this one. Pretty cool. So that's pretty much it. So this one is made with a character, aura, shockwave, blast, two lights just to illuminate here the scene, basic redshift volumes, redshift drop, and again, just to make it simple to understand, we use the configure bonfire to make the aura, right? You need this pyro bake volume to be able to render it, okay? Then we use a shockwave and a blast. These two were made from the setup of Shockwave. So that's pretty simple and pretty fast. We took a while because I needed to explain a few stuff, but I hope you enjoyed this one, and don't forget to check my Retrieve new tutorial store. Okay, and if you want us to keep doing these tutorials, please consider supporting us on Retrieve or Patreon. Hope you enjoyed this one, and see you on the next one. Bye bye.